Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So today we're coming to the end of the Odyssey Titan event, exactly the very end, because we have the last, at least for me, 200 points to acquire from it. So we're at 1300 in the Titan event, and everything we need is in the last summon rush here for the final few days. So I've already pre-pulled some of the mystery shards. We can see here that we're going to have to use up to 7 sacreds in order to get the 3500 points remaining, obviously 3650 total, but yeah, 7 sacreds worth, which is a little bit more than I was hoping for. I mean, I was expecting it to be around 6, but 6 I'm not going to do the thing. But yeah, there's 2 milestones, one very low at 1000, which is definitely lower than usual. So if you happen to have skipped a bunch of other stuff prior and you only needed 50 points, then getting there would be really easy. I would just do that with mystery shards, honestly, if I only had to do 1000. But anyways, yeah, our goal for the day is 7 sacreds. Now, popping over to the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count. My count at the moment, it's 376 on the ancients, 226 on the voids, 26 on the primals, and then 62 on the sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today. I did consider for a little bit pulling some voids because I'm fairly far from mercy on voids, but they're not really offering, like, these are good champions, but they're not really offering ones that are like top of my list: Queen of Hearts, Marichka, etc. So I opted for doubling down on our luck from last time, trying to go for one of the assassins. Now obviously the odds are very low from our 15x. I think it's around a 6% chance that if we get a legendary at all, it would be the one that we've selected. So the odds are very low, and yeah, so I'm not expecting basically anything, but you never know. There's always a chance, like I talked about during the POGO event. In terms of mercy, which is more important as far as the likelihood that we get a legendary at all, of course, we just had the sacred POGO a few days ago, so our mercy is fully reset. So we're at 0 shards pulled, meaning that the 7 sacreds we're going to pull will not get us into mercy, meaning we're just at the mercy of the base rates of the game. If you'd like a copy of this mercy tracker to use for yourself, that will be in the description box down below. But yeah, odds are low that we get a legendary because we're coming off of mercy, and odds are low that even if we got a legendary, it would be the one that we've chosen just because of the probabilities there. So not going to get too hung up on that in particular. In terms of who we're looking for, though, in terms of legendaries, if something were to happen, of course, I would take Edward. He's one of the 2 assassins remaining that I need to collect, and for my personal goal of collecting all the assassins. But honestly, normally I have, like Glade Cat at the top, but I'm kind of changing it up a little bit, and I just want an Undead Horde duplicate champion at this point, because I have 3 spare Rhoduses, 2 of which are holding some Faction Guardian slots for me. So if I can get any duplicate of any other Undead Horde champion, then I can double empower my Rhodos, who's already 6-star awakened and whatnot. So that it would be my first ever legendary empowerment on my account. But more importantly, it would just be that much more powerful of a Rhodos on my account. So that would be the goal. And then for the epics, I don't need more copies of any of these guys, so I just put Deacon in there just because Deacon's good. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the pulls. We have enough space. We got tons of cash, and honestly today I don't really care about the luck. We got a decent amount of luck during the POGO event, so if we get 7 epics, it's not the end of the world, but duplicate epics for empowerment would be useful here. So sacred number 1, epic as expected, Nazana. Not too bad. If you pull this champion early game, she can be actually very useful for getting your Demon Lord clan boss teams off the ground. So talking Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare, because she does have the decreased attack on a 3-turn cooldown, and more importantly, the ally protection on a 3-turn cooldown. And so a nested ally protection team is the best start in terms of the most reliable start in terms of getting outside of unkillables, of course, but the best start for getting your Demon Lord clan boss higher level, higher difficulty teams off the ground. But yeah, super strong for that, but the decreased attack also helps you kind of survive as well. Sacred number 2, Man-Eater's brother, is Shatterbones, who's a relatively underwhelming champion, but I do use him a little bit in the Cursed City because he does have AoE decreased speed with a turn meter fill. Granted, it's on a horrific 5-turn cooldown even after booking, and then this is a pretty decent amount of turn meter control, but again, horrendous cooldown, a 4-turn cooldown, but it does decrease turn meter by a decent amount, even though it's not 100% chance, but it is a triple hitter. Sacred number 3 is going to be another epic, yes, as expected. It is Sepulchre Sentinel. We're continuing on with the kind of early game clan boss champions, but you'd run her at a 4-3 speed ratio, and you have increased defense and block debuffs for 2 turns on your team, and that way you protect yourself, I think, if you tune it right, from the decreased speed on Spirit Affinity as well as the stun. And then she also has decreased attack on the A1. Not much else to say about her. Very, very old champion, very, very old model as well. Sacred number 4, the 4th epic for the day, is Franox, who I've heard has really good multipliers. She is a single target DPS. I've not built her myself, but if you trust other people, namely like Saf from HH Gaming and others, who've kind of endorsed her, I think, or just check the multipliers on the like hellhades.com or other places, you can decide for yourself if she's worth building. Sacred number 5 is going to be another epic, right? Yes, correct. And it is a, we already know, because the camera zooms low, that means it's a hound, or I guess in this case, a Drake. So Drake, Dracomorph's cousin, who did get a buff maybe a couple years ago, but extra turn on the A1 if you kill someone, single target ability here that's always critical if they're low health, and then an AoE, or chance to place AoE, decrease accuracy, decrease speed, which is meh. He's still meh, even after the buff. I wouldn't use him. I think he's pretty trash, unfortunately for him. Sacred number 6 is Lockwayne. Yes, Lockwayne. His only claim to fame, unfortunately, is being a Lady Mikage epic, so not much to say about him, sadly. That's his primary purpose. And the last sacred for the day is, of course, another epic. And hey, there's our Deacon. We got the 25x, but like I said, mine's fully empowered, +4, so I don't really need a copy. But yeah, there's no bad things about Deacon Armstrong. Bread and butter ability, turn meter fill, turn meter decrease, 50% extra turn, goes into the AoE decrease defense, 100% chance, 3 turn cooldown, and then the leech on the A1 double hitter. Great for just basically everything in the game. One of the strongest carries for the early into the mid game. And I still use him in the late game because, of course, Sacred Order needs a debuffer, and he's kind of your best option unless you happen to pull a Venus. So that should have done it quick and clean there. 7 sacreds. And we got our epics as expected, and coming off of Mercy, of course. And then we have, more importantly, our goal here of finishing out the Titan event. Now, in the off chance, I don't think it's going to be the case, but we'll kind of hold off and see. But in the off chance that there is some sort of like soul chase that happens in the next, I guess, 2 days, I have not collected the souls, the perfect souls, for Cassandra, just in case we can get some free points in a soul chase if that happens to happen in the next few days or so. But or I guess in the next week or so, because the rewards will stay for a little bit longer. But that's the only reason I'm holding off on collecting the souls themselves. But as you can see there, Titan event is done with actually minimal overshoot, only 10 points, which is kind of hard to modulate. So I think that's probably as close as I could have gotten. Maybe like I could have done one dungeon tournament instead of another, and that would have been the trade-off there. But 10 points, close enough, basically spot on in terms of completing the Titan event. So that is done, and we can focus on something else for the next 3 days, I guess, before the fusion starts, which she looks interesting, but obviously her partner is kind of getting more of the hype at the moment. But anyways, yeah, that is going to do it for today's video, guys. Quick and clean as expected, 7 sacreds, and we got our 7 epics because, of course, we just got off of Mercy. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were pulling for this weekend, wrapping up the Titan event, or had you already finished wherever you were going for, or whatever you were going for in the Titan event in prior weeks. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below, really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.